Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Christina and today we'll be talking about some audiobooks. I am listening to audiobooks at the moment because it's just easier. I use an app called Libby where I get 2 loans and 2 holds at all time. And it's actually quite easy to use. I place a hold for a book, and when that book comes available, I just borrow it. And then I use it for, I think the period is 21 days that you have to listen to it. And then it will return automatically, or you can return it early for the next person in the queue. It's super easy, and I hope that you guys will use it because chef's kiss. It's so it is so easy to use. So I have been listening to some audiobooks and let's talk about them. First up we have Beach Read. Beach Read is a novel by Emily Henry, I think. I think that's right. This is a rivals to lovers story and I think it's done quite well. It's about January. She's the main protagonist. She is mourning her dad's death when she finds out that he had a mistress, and she goes to their beach house to sort things out. She needs to clean up his life, and when she does that she meets her rival from high school. It is Gus. Gus and January are both writers. They make this competing challenge between the two of them where they write each other's tropes, which is actually quite fun to follow. It is very much a book about mourning. January mourns the loss of her father and Gus mourns the loss of his past relationship. So I would put a trigger warning on death on this one because it's a heavily discussed topic at some points of the book. But all in all, it was a really fun and great love story. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. The reason why I didn't get the 5th star is because I didn't think that I became addicted to the story. I didn't feel like I needed the ending, which is why it lost a star. The next book is The Handmaid's Tale. And I don't think I need to explain the plot of this one. It's actually quite known and it's been a TV series as well. Let me just say this. The whole book is a trigger warning. It's dramatic from the beginning to the end. Even though I thought the ending was really sad, I really liked the book. I think this book should be mandatory reading. I think I learned a lot from it, but I still only gave it 3 stars, which is perhaps because I didn't fall for the writing. Next book on my list, I'm sorry. Next book on my list is Call Me By Your Name. And I know that this book is someone's absolute favorite book. And I think I understand why. It is beautiful. It's beautifully written, and I think that if someone who is not me read it, they would love it. But unfortunately I am me and I did not love it. I gave it 2 stars and I actually DNF'd it. I DNF'd it. I could not finish it. Even though I didn't have to read it myself, it was an audiobook, and still I just thought it was too slow. It was beautiful, yes, absolutely beautiful, but it was too slow. Another book that I DNF'd is I Darken. I Darken is a retelling of Vlad the Impaler, told as a girl. And I really liked this idea. I really liked it. I was so sold on this book just by the cover that I didn't need to read the synopsis. I just grabbed it. and I was so disappointed. It was so slow, like it was monster slow, but perhaps it's just because I am not used to reading about kids, and kids don't fall in love or go on adventures or something like that. Perhaps I would like the later books where Lara has become an adult, but I didn't fall for this young Lara thing. I will say though that Lara is so cruel. It is beautiful. She is so cruel and malicious, and it's really well done. So if you have the patience to look further than the first few hours, I would definitely give this book a try. I gave it a 1 star, but that's my own fault. I did not rate this on Goodreads or anything, it's just my own opinion, and it's only because that I am too impatient to read along. And that's the truth. So I'm sure that this is a great book, a wonderful book for someone else than me. Next book on my list is Crepe. Crepe is a book, a paranormal romance, I would call it. It is definitely a enemies to lovers trope, but I don't think that it's quite enemies. I think it's more like I'm keeping my distance of you because I love you trope. And I thought that this book was actually really good. But I'm also a sucker for paranormal romances, so I guess this was kind of up my alley. This book is about Grace. Her parents have died, and she goes to the school, which her uncle is the headmaster of. And she soon has to realize that this school is not normal. It is filled with vampires and dragons and werewolves. And soon she realizes that she's the only human, or so she thought. Actually, I thought that this was a really good book. Grace, the main protagonist, is not the sharpest tool in the shed. She is a bit slow, especially when people are flying around her, and she still does not realize that this is a magic school. I gave it a 4-star rating. The language here in this book is not perfect. It is a bit like Twilight and Hush Hush. The language is not characterized by being beautiful, which is a shame because the story is actually really good. The next book is The Knife of Never Letting Go. I gave this book a 3.5 rating. It is by Patrick Ness. I read this book because it is being made into a movie called Chaos Walking with Tom Holland in one of the leading roles. This book is about Todd, who lives on a new planet where every man has this kind of noise where people can see their thoughts and hear their thoughts, and it's actually a really good concept. I like the concept. It is great. I just think that I'm the wrong person for this dystopian universe. That is why I gave it a 3.5 rating. The language was nice. The book was funny. It was intelligent. It was beautiful at places. And I cried, which is embarrassing because I was driving. And it's just simply very well put together. Todd is great. Viola is great. But Manchi is the best. The dog is the best thing about this book. It was, and I will say this very loud, it was great as an audiobook. I could listen to the noise because the way they had done this audiobook was that they had layered voices on top of each other to make this noise seem as a coherent thing, and it was great. It was wonderful. I have not seen the book, but I thought I saw a screenshot of the book where you can see that the noises are pulled out like this coherent thing that is very visual in the book as well. I want to give you a little demonstration of what the noise was like in the audiobook. Okay. Pooh, Todd, pooh, squirrel, squirrel. Squirrel, poo, tot, tot, poo, poo, tot, tot, ow, tot, yeah. Ow. That is what the noise is like. I'm currently on Dumpling, which is a book about a plus-size girl who enters a beauty pageant. And I have not read further than that, so please no spoilers in the comments. But I really like it so far, and I think that it's gonna be a great read. So there you have it. That was the books I have read or listened to. Let's not talk about the discussion whether audiobooks is real books. Let's take that another day. But I have read these books or listened to these books, and that was my honest opinion about them. This is my new channel, and I really hope that you will subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't like it, don't subscribe. That's your own choice. Let's say it that way. I just hope that you will boop the like button. That would help me out tremendously. And leave a comment in the comment section. That would be great. I thank you so much for watching. It has been great to be your host. I will see you in my next video. Bye.